Must have looked like a living piece of art. From that moment I knew that it would be you. Yeah, from that moment I knew it could only be you. I wrote your name up on my wall, circled in an arrow heart. Somehow you made me feel whole. I wouldn't have to be alone. No, I would never be alone. No, I would never be alone.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at cryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic this morning, wherever you happen to be tuning in from, and whether you're watching from across YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and or Facebook. So hopefully you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. A little bit of mic issues there coming into the early mornings, but some things happen, guys. Doing some reworks on the OBS settings. So sometimes things break. That's all right. Fail quickly and fail often, as they say. All right, guys. So, of course, today is June 4th, 2019, trial year of our Lord. We've got a great show for you guys today. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the price movement of Bitcoin last night. We're going to talk about the daily baseline closing. We're going to talk about the signals from Minx. We're going to talk about the signals from time transformation, and we're also going to talk about the signals from Wada Atar. So we're going to analyze how this happened, what went down last night, what the sentiment looks like, and what is the movement moving forward, as well as some trade updates and general talks about psychology and trading and how you should handle situations like this. Last night was a night where a lot of individuals panicked. A lot of individuals might have made bad decisions. And again, the point of trading, and this is really, if above all, there's so many things that I think are really, really, really important that I try to convey on a daily basis as far as how real world trading goes, how actual professional traders like myself actually conduct ourselves in the market, how we compose ourselves, how we look at our statistical edge, how we look at our equity curve, how we look at our positions, how we manage positions, how we actually handle what we do in a practical method of execution, right? Because that's what it comes down to. Your theories are less important than your actual execution and your statistical edge over time. So I want to talk about, in general, that facet of trading. So let's see here. Something else that I wanted to talk about as well coming into the early morning. How you guys doing? A different mic is picking me up. Yeah, hold on a second. Let's try. Let's try. Nope. Trying to fix my mic, guys. Sorry about that. Sometimes things just don't go the way they're supposed to. 1 second. All right. Let's try that. It is a nice chair. Let's see here. What's up, Matt? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd have to shut down the stream because for some reason my primary mic isn't showing up, which makes this thing basically vestigial. And I don't really want to restart the stream. One moment. Let's try that. Yeah, how's that? Boom, we got it. All right. There we go. I got it fixed. Aha, the power is with me. How do you like that, Russian bots? Trying to set me down like that? We come back twice as hard, baby. Okay. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay now. Good. All right, cool. Sorry about that. This will be the most entertaining, I guess, or kind of blooper intro. I'm sure somebody's going to send this to me with something like dun 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 dun. Okay. Sabotage, bro. I'm here every day discussing mentality, position sizing, trading, statistics, edge, technical strategy, risk management. Some people just get mad, man. Some people just get mad. All right, moving on. Let's get to the charts, guys. All right, good vibes, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are the most patient, loving, awesome audience that I could hope for. Bang on. What's going on, Floyd? Good to see you, man. MW May Lyson just donated 4 lemons, man. Thank you so much, brother. And Ron Legato, thank you so much over there for the follow on D Live. You guys are awesome, man. It's a good one. This is this is The Walking Dead. Heck yeah. All right, guys. So what do we have last night? We all know it was a big momentous occasion. Now, what was the correct thing to do? Let's just talk about this from a technical perspective. What is the correct trade to do? So let's rewind the clock. Let's go back in time and look prior to the daily candle close yesterday. If you guys will recall, we had a wick down to the daily baseline and then a retrace. What is the correct thing to do in that situation? If you are going to be trading reversals in the direction of the dominant trend, which is the direction that you should be trading reversals, that was an opportunity to buy. It is a baseline buy. You have your limit buy orders when price is bullish, when price is in a bullish trend. You have your limit orders to buy set at the line that delineates what the trend is, right? And that is the baseline. Whatever you want to use for the baseline, that's your own personal preference. You guys know what I use for my baseline. That is what you need on your chart to help you determine trend direction. There are many ways that you can go about doing this, but I don't know of a better way than this, and this is the personal method that I've been using for a very long time. So you need something on your chart that is going to delineate trend, all right? You guys can call it what you wish, trend line, trend master, blah, 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 blah. It's the function, it's the purpose of what that tool does that is important. So you need something that delineates trend. When price returns to your trend line, what is that? That is a reversion to the mean because it is an average. In this case, this is an exponentially weighted moving average of price, right? So it is an extrapolation of price. It is a derivative of price action. It is taking the average close over a period of bars and averaging them out. And then the fact that it is an exponentially weighted moving average weights it in a certain way so that it takes into account more recent dynamic movements to move faster, right? To move smoother. There are other ways, other methods, other moving averages, other types of filters and smoothers that you guys can utilize to try to determine trend as well as you can. For example, Ichimoku serves as a very good baseline if you guys would like to use that. For example, if we pull open Ichimoku here, actually, let me pull open mine, of course. CC Ichimoku. All right. As we can see, CC Ichimoku also works quite well. Actually, on the BitMEX chart, coming right down to the Tenkan, and that is where the bottom of the wick fell on the daily Tenkan on the Ichimoku with the Kraken cryptocurrency settings, the common cryptocurrency settings that most individuals are going to be using for cryptocurrency trading utilizing Ichimoku. Now, what we have to understand about Ichimoku is that it is different from a moving average in the fact that instead of taking the average closing price of a series of bars, Ichimoku is going to be taking the difference between the true high and the true low over a period of bars divided by 2. So the highest high over the last X series of bars and the lowest low over the last X series of bars plus each other divided by 2. It's going to be the average, okay? So let's see here. So whatever you guys want to do as far as your baseline, that is your own preference, but you need to do some experimentation. Again, I have many baselines that I've utilized over time and ones that I think practically work superior, at least to trading my methodology of trading. And I haven't found anything better that works for me that strikes that nice balance between getting you into a trade, filtering out bad trades, and not lagging behind too much, so that it's actually very practical and useful to utilize in your active day-to-day trading. You guys know what I've settled on. However, there's lots of experimentation, just as there's lots of experimentation in trading in general. You just need the form and the structure, and that's what we provide. So anyways, so the correct move last night, and when I say last night, I mean prior to the daily candle close. So let's talk about prior to 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, my time, which is when the daily candle closes, or 0000 UTC. The correct move had been previously to look for that buy, to have that limit order at the daily baseline, right? The correct movement was to take the reversal to the upside. The correct trade was not to bank on a collapse, to bank on a failure, right? You're going to hear a lot of people out here this morning talking about how they caught this short, and that's absolutely fantastic for the counter trend traders who were able to catch this movement. Congratulations, hooray to you. You caught a very nice, good movement. However, in my experience, when you make your... Oh, and they're back. Did you notice how the bots waited for me to fix my mic? They were polite enough to wait for me to fix my mic. Much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. So if anybody wants to help out with the spam a little bit this morning, I feel like our current mods are probably getting a little bit overextended. So if you guys would like to help out, be a moderator and do some pointing and clicking, let me know in the chat. Always annoying when it happens. Yeah, they're coming in strong today. Yeah, where you at? It's hard. Wrenched, good sir. Man, these guys have lost their goddamn minds. Stephen Hyatt, I got you, brother. Thank you, sir. I think the universe is telling you to get yourself a Russian girl. I'm definitely not against that concept. Dominus Spinay, I see you, brother. I see you, brother. Thanks, guys. I find the most efficient thing is to report them. That hides them and then blocks them. And at least takes them like 5 minutes to come back. Yeah, they've been going crazy the last few days. So thank you guys for that. Much appreciated. Thank you, Benny. These yeah, you know what's really bad about YouTube is that there's nothing that we can really do to block them. YouTube's very much like, that's your problem, man. Sucks that you're popular. In YouTube Live, you can find this. New comments with hashtags and URLs will be held for review. See here. Chat messages, URLs will be blocked. Okay. Here we go. Okay, yeah. New comments with hashtags and URLs will be held for review. Okay. Save settings. Hopefully that'll help. Cool. Okay, maybe that's why we're getting Bulldog ran on, because we just didn't have that set. Yeah, quality streamer problems. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that fixes it. Thank you so much, man. Tudis, you're the man, brother. Yeah. Yeah, but spam bots are okay. Okay, cool. All right, moving right along, guys. Back to what I was talking about. Okay, so what was the you're the man too. Just holler at me, brother. I got you, man. Crunks, man. Crunks coming in hot with the Ninja Genie, man. Thank you so much, brother. Highly appreciated over there on D Live, brother. Okay. Yeah, I'm good at trading, guys, but sometimes microphones, chat settings takes a village, guys. It takes a village. So appreciate it. You guys are fantastic, man. All right, guys. Moving right along. What was I saying? Where were we at? Okay, so the correct move yesterday was to be looking for that reversal buy, and it didn't take you very long to know that you were wrong, all right? Because the daily candle closed. When the daily candle closed below the baseline, you are immediately out of your position, okay? And this is kind of one of the nice things. This is one of the nice things about the way that PTP allows you, or the way that a baseline allows you, having extra components in your system that allow you to get out well before your stop loss will ever get hit, right? Now, I trade with a stop loss, and my stop loss almost never, ever gets hit, right? It is very rare. Something is very wrong if my stop loss gets hit. That means I was completely wrong about the trade, and the stop loss is there in the first place to protect you against a significant capital loss, right? You want to take, you're okay with taking small losses. You're very okay with that. In fact, honestly, as a trader, every night you look forward to filtering out the small losses, right? That means that you are reallocating your portfolio to the good winners, okay? Because that's typically what you're going to have in a common night when you are looking at the market with a particular risk management or diversification strategy. So you want to put your capital into the coins that have the highest probability to appreciate or trend in the direction that you want to trade. And the only way to be able to do that effectively every night is to spread your capital in general among the coins that have the highest probability to do so, right? But then you have to risk your capital appropriately, or you have to manage your risk appropriately. So there are many different ways to do this, but it comes down to doing math and having a very keen understanding of what your risk levels are, of what you need to return, of what your ROI needs to be, of what percentages. And again, it comes down to percentages, right? So many people post misleading percentages, especially with BitMEX and their ROI on margin. Again, the ROE, that BitMEX presents to you is not a benchmark for trading, because that is not actually how much you've made on the trade. Okay, it's how much money you've made off your margin, but somebody can use ridiculously low margin and get an extremely high ROI. Somebody can use extremely a regular amount of margin and get a lower percentage number, but their profit is much better. So it comes down, the numbers that matter are your ROE, your real ROE, which is your return on equity, your actual capital, okay, your total account balance, not the return on the margin, right? That's the problem with BitMEX and other statistics like this, is that they give you your return on equity and they utilize equity as your margin, right? Not your total account balance, right? You need to be measuring a trade in terms of how much did this return on my total account balance? So what is the percentage? So it's very easy to calculate that. You just figure out what your actual P&L was on the trade, your actual P&L. So how much money you actually made from the trade. What was the profit in dollar terms, right? Hard to get says hard stop loss can also be dangerous with stop loss whales hunters. I mean, no, not really. Not if you're setting your stop loss appropriately, in my experience. You know, I trade cryptocurrency, man. I've traded cryptocurrency since 2016, and I almost never get my stop loss hit. If your stop loss is continually getting hunted, you're putting your stop loss in the incorrect place in the first place, right? You do not put your stop loss where it is likely to be hunted, right? And the point is, when you have a good system that consistently returns profits, if your stop loss placement is an issue, you're going to figure that out really quickly. And so you just modify that and you just change that, right? That's part of your strategy. You have to construct your trading strategy from the ground up, not try to not put something together in haste and then try to fix it later on. No, you have to approach the markets from a systemic fashion. That's exactly what we do with PTP. We tell you exactly what you need to build from the get-go before you're even in the market, and then we teach you how to optimize that over time.
but you're still trading within the same structure. You're not, well, I kind of, most people are like this. Well, I use this indicator for this, and sometimes I look at this price action, and, I also try to look at sentiment, but I kind of have a different opinion on it every day. And then sometimes I use this moving average, but then I'll switch over to this if I kind of feel like it's, if it's like super sunny outside and there's like a 60% chance of rain, then sometimes I'll use this indicator. Honestly, like just being realistic, and I don't mean any hate by this, that's how almost everybody that I talk to trades in some way, shape, or form. They have no consistency. They use different tools at different points in time. That honestly comes down to just how they feel at that point in time. They're looking generally for confirmation bias without even understanding that they are, because they're not keeping a record of their trading and they don't have a structure in the first place with which they trade. Right, yeah. Sorry, sometimes I can wax loquaciously. And that's exactly, that's the death knell of traders. Every single professional trader out there trades the same way every single time. The good ones, okay? You're going to have price action traders out there who are going to do different things in different circumstances, but the failure rate for those individuals is extremely high. And even if you take it down to the base element, they're still following a very probabilistic scenario and utilizing only strategic setups, right? I don't really like that approach. I find that the failure rate is far too high. And the reason that I do the stream and the way that I personally trade is a way that just about anybody can trade in the first place. Also, okay, cool. I get that one. Also, hey, just listen, the moderators, you guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job. However, we can be a little forgiving of people, People can make mistakes and then conduct themselves appropriately. So let's give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, guys. But if somebody's a real raging wanker, then fuck them. Antonio Zuber, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. And Revival Tech Repairman, thank you for the 5 months of resubscribing, brother. I think you have just earned yourself your 6-month Twitch loyalty badge, my good friend. The Bitcoin should be spilling out of your arms. By the way, guys, if you guys did not know, we did get some new Twitch loyalty badges. So they're professionally done right now. They look quite nice. I'm very, very happy with them. If you guys haven't seen them, head on over to twitch.tv/cracking or twitch.cracking or TW. I think it's either Twitch or tw.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Scott will let me know, but twitch.tv/cracking definitely works 100%. And you guys can go see those loyalty badges. They're pretty cool. All right, anyways, moving right along. So the movement last night, any long position you were in, including mine actually, was exited as soon as the candle closed, right? As soon as the candle closed last night, I knew exactly what to look for. That was the first thing that I did. Now, what was the second thing that I did as soon as the daily candle closed yesterday? I immediately moved into a 1x short, and I immediately moved into stablecoins, because that is what I do. When price, all right, so let's revisit this a little bit. So when we get a trending long signal, okay, when trading cryptocurrency, we move from fiat and or stablecoins into Bitcoin, okay? And obviously, since it's a trending long signal, for me anyways, I trade on futures. So I'm going to take a position to the long side, all right, on my primary exchange. Now, you maintain that position until price closes below the baseline, at which case you immediately exit Bitcoin. And you wait until a signal to go short to take a leveraged short, right? Or you wait until another trending long signal to repeat the process all over again. The money, the opportunity cost that I have missed, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. The drawdown that I have avoided from utilizing that strategy of moving to and from Bitcoin based on actual market conditions instead of my faith that, oh, it's going to reverse. This is just a stop loss hunt. Oh, this is just a rally. This is just a dip. This is just a correction. This is just a continuation. None of that stuff matters in the slightest sense. Check the internet. Check YouTube, for God's sakes. You're going to hear 50 people talking about 50 different reasons of what this price movement means. None of that means anything to a trader. What anybody thinks, even myself, doesn't mean anything. It holds no candle to something that statistically works well over time. This is why when people come in here and say, oh, so you use the past to try to predict the future, that's nonsense. I laugh in their face because they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. They are not a professional trader. Every single professional trader I have ever worked with that I've ever seen manage 6-figure accounts, 7-figure accounts, some managing 8-figure accounts, they all backtest. They all have a system that they have tested into the past to know it works well, currently tested it under current market conditions, and currently trade that system. And all they look to do is optimize. Have you guys ever been to the floor of the CME? Have you? I have. Do you know what they all do? They all run automated bots that run off statistical strategies, and all their managers do over time is just optimize the settings based on current market conditions. They have certain things that they look at, specific things that they look at. It's not about how the person feels. It's about what the market reflects, their actual on paper physical strategy. That is how professional money managers and professional traders actually trade. The way that professional traders do not trade is this get rich quick, booyah, hell yeah, Wild West, let's roll. You know what I mean? Sorry, I get fired up about fake traders. Anywho's, moving on. Okay, so that's where I'm sitting right now. Just to give you guys a little bit of update of where I'm sitting. I am 1x short on ByBit, and I am in Tether. I am Tether on Binance. Now, there's a couple different trains of thought about this, and there's not really a right one. It kind of comes down to risk. Jonathan Kano, thanks so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. It kind of comes down to your risk tolerance, right? Or really, how do I put this in a correct way? It depends on your analysis. Okay, so if we look at let's look at PAX to USDT, for example, right? And actually, what we could do is we could also look at something like PAX USDT. We could look at something like USDC or USDS to USDT, and this is kind of what I was looking at last night. So if we look at USDC to USDT right here, and if we look at TUSD to USDT, for example, right? Last night we were getting a continuation long signal on TUSDT, PAX, USDS, USDC to USDT, which generally means that, I mean, that's a signal to go long. So ideally, you want to be in an asset that has the ability to evaluate. This is why I also switch between stablecoins, depending on which one is a little bit more valuable at the given time. But there's a counter way to look at this, which is if we look at what Tether was doing last night, let's look at something like PAX USDT, for example, right? And this is how you guys can take advantage of this, for example. This is how you guys can make small returns, like anywhere from 0.2 to 0.5, sometimes more, on your entire stack, right? On your entire capital or your entire equity balance over time, utilizing just moving from stablecoin to stablecoin, right? So what you will notice is that there are going to be times when PAX is valued higher than USDT. You can actually look at the PAX USDT chart right here. So this is going to give you essentially the value of PAX weighted against Tether, right? So how many PAX you would get for Tether. And generally when that level is high, right? Generally when that level is high, you want to be in USDT, all right? So what you can do is you can move back and forth from whatever coin is more valuable, and you will gain a slight edge. You will gain more as you move back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? So For example, if we look at what Pax USDT was doing last night, Pax USDT was high, meaning USDT was less valuable, right? You would get more Pax for less USDT, right? Meaning USDT was undervalued. Something also that you can do is you can go to the you can go to the USDT USD chart, right, on Kraken, and you can just determine how to know why that's oh, it's because of that big stupid wick. There we go. So one thing that you can do is you can look at when tether is, this is actually USDT. Yeah, so this is USDT to USD. So you can actually look at when the value of USDT is low, and if you want to take a little additional risk for more reward, you want to be sitting in Tether when it is cheap because it is a stable coin, so it has always came back up to parity. It has always reverted to the mean, right? So this is one of the few examples of a way that you can take a reversal trade, but only applied to stable coins, right? So last night, as we can see, the value of Tether was dropping, okay? And now it is on the rebound. So if you were lucky enough to move into Tether, then your position, your overall equity is actually now increasing and valuated against the United States dollar. And then on Binance, you can use Pax, or you can use USDS or USDC or True USD, right? All these coins vying to be the number one stable coin. And what you can do is you can wait until USDT is relatively cheap compared to them to do the exact same thing if you're not on Kraken trading USDT to USD. Or what you can do is, so not what you can do. This is the same thing. Just when Pax is cheap relative to USDT, be in Pax. When USDT is cheap relative to Pax, be in USDT. Now, you can replace Pax with USDS, USDC, TUSD, whatever you want to do. But that is a little experiment that you can do to actually give you an edge if there's no trades to be taken, right? So you can actually fluidly move back and forth between your stablecoin holdings and overall increase the value of your portfolio by doing that. Are the edges going to be small? Yes, generally. But it's definitely something that you can do. All the individuals that bought up Tether, for example, when Tether wicked all the way down and dropped fairly significantly after the Bitfinex FUD came out, and you guys know I'm very critical about Bitfinex, so not that I'm excusing their actions in any way, shape, or form, but they made out quite nicely, right? So here we are right here. The value of Tether dropped by about 5%, and anybody that bought Tether at this point in time or moved from USD into Tether, price immediately came right back. All right, after a few days, price came right back. And they sold back into USD at a win. Okay, moving on. Yeah, that wick, man. That was pretty nuts, man. Okay, so I don't trade this pair on Kraken. I don't trade on Kraken, but the concept is what's important. So any way that you can apply this concept into your real world life and your trading activities is going to be helpful. Okay, so anyways, just that give you guys an idea of where I'm at. I am short on Bitcoin. Am I in a regular position? I'm not, right? I am 1x short, and I'm in stable coins. Okay, just as I said I would be, just as I always will be, just the same way that we're going to do anything anytime we close below the daily baseline after a strong trend. We're not going to do any price predictions. We can look at support and resistance, and we can look at where price is likely to go. But I just want you guys to understand that unless you're going to be a reversal trader, which is not the ethos, which is not what we're trying to promote and do on the show, I want to give you guys an actual view of consistently how to trade the markets the way that I would trade the markets. That stuff is going to matter very little. But let us take a look at some areas. And to do this, we'll bring back our drawing tools. Okay, so as we talked about yesterday, we were trading within an order block, right? We were trading within an order block. And the last thing that we talked about is the last time that we traded into the last order block, which is the two white lines here. So the two aqua lines are going to be our recent order block that we have yet to overcome. It is a bearish order block that when broken becomes a bullish breaker, okay? What we are doing right now is we are actually trading back inside of what should be a bullish breaker, right? And that bullish breaker is just a little bit below us, by a few ticks, okay? So there are a couple different ways this could play out. One way this could play out, and 1 second real quick, because it's been a while. Okay, put that back on. That, great. Make that black. Okay, great. Let's get back over into the future. So there are a couple different ways this could play out. Scenario 1, in which the bullish breaker is respected, is that we do end up traversing up through this area and break resistance, okay? The reason why is because typically when a level of resistance is broken, especially in the form of a bearish order block, when it is closed above with very little resistance, you want to buy pullbacks into the bullish breaker, okay? You want to buy pullbacks into the bullish breaker. Hey, what's going on, Right On Dice? I don't think you're the only one in there, brother. Oh, man. Chill out on that haterade, Randy. Small-minded fool. Anyways, guys. Anyways, let's see here. Sorry, sometimes stupidity knocks me off my square. So, anyways, so typically when you test a bearish order block, excuse me, let's rewind just a little bit. So, as we said yesterday, the way that we broke the last bearish order block and converted it into a bullish breaker was an initial rejection from the high, pull back to the daily baseline, a lower high, pull back to the baseline, and then expansion, right? So, if you were expecting patterns to repeat, you got a breakdown, you got a rejection from the initial high, from the upper area, from the upper boundary of the bearish order block, and Randy Marshall. You're darn right. This is America, where I can call a stupid comment a stupid comment. So typically when you reject, when price okay. Same thing that we saw yesterday, right? So the same thing that we were talking about yesterday. Initial rejection from the upper boundary of the bearish order block, pull back down to the daily baseline, lower high, pull back down to the daily baseline as well. All right. So we were speculating. Again, we don't trade off of any of this. This has nothing to do with trading. But at least the way that we trade. So you are going to have individuals that this is all that they look at. And the problem with that is that the odds of success, the statistical edge of how often reversal traders are successful in this space is quite low, right? The statistical failure rate for reversal traders is high. It's above 90%. Right On Dice, thank you so much for the follow over there on YouTube. Rudy LaPlane, thank you so much, my brother. Anyways, so there are a couple ways this can play out, and looking at price action right now, it's looking like it's not going to play out that way, so it's a good thing we don't trade this way. So one way that this can play out is that the bullish breaker is respected, that we end up getting limit orders filled throughout this zone, and that price retakes back up and attempts to break our current bearish order block, or our current area of horizontal resistance. The second way this can play out, which looks a little bit more likely right now, but you never know until the daily candle closes, is that price retests our previous bullish order block, right? As we can see right here. If we look at this bullish order block, this level of resistance, let's go back to the black lines, and let's look what this denotes. This is the last up candle before a shift in market structure, where we previously were experiencing higher highs and lower highs. And now, ever since that last up candle, which was the initiation of bearish positions, which was the establishment of people that were establishing short orders to sell, price moves down and forms lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so when we retest that area, the last up candle, it's called a bearish order block. When we retest that area, typically price rejects, and when we close above that level of resistance with conviction, then those areas are to be bought as pullbacks, right? Just as you can see here, just if you had bought the pullback to this zone, I mean, potentially got got a lot of pain on that wick, but if you held on to your position, you did very well. Just as if you bought this pullback to that order block, you can see that you did very well. And you can see how this candle right here really does end up respecting that area beautifully. All right. So should this level of support fail, the next level of support on the chart is going to be 73.48 to 72.61. Should that fail, there are a couple arguments to be made. The first argument to be made, which I'm not going to really congrue with very well, is going to be a retest of this area right here. And there's going to be a specific reason that price action traders are going to say that. Because they're going to say that price wants to test this liquidity void, right? Or this inefficiency in the market, right? Where you have a lot of bullish expansion, Yeah, that's because I turned off broadcast from YouTube to Twitch because it was getting distracting and I was losing Twitch messages. So I want to be able to see Twitch right here and I want to be able to see DLive right here, brother, and YouTube over here. So there's a couple problems with this scenario. The first problem with the scenario is that it doesn't have a high probability of success, to be quite honest with you, right? Testing these liquidity voids, these liquidity gaps right here. They don't have a high probability of success. Gaps do like to get filled, and in Bitcoin, honestly, these gaps do like to get filled quite quickly, especially on CME futures. CME is quite efficient about retesting and filling gaps, but it's not the best way to trade because it doesn't actually tell you when to get into a position, to be quite honest. So, and also the other fact is that price has already tested this level, this liquidity void, this inefficiency in the market already. So there's no real reason to retest that area and to consider that area valid or important. Again, just because a level on the chart is valid once doesn't mean it's invalid once it's already been tested. But in general, we want to look for what the most relevant areas of the chart are. So what's the most important level of resistance? Well, it's going to be 5,800 to 61.35, right? That was the level of resistance. That was our previous block, right? That was our right here. This was our bullish order block, right? That was broken. Okay, so let's talk about this. So back in 2018, what is the last down candle in the entire 2018 market cycle? It's this candle right here on the 27th of June, 2018, right? Where price reached a low of 58.18. $14 on the Bitstamp chart. This was the last down candle before a shift in market structure where we had higher highs and higher lows, right? And you can see that that forms a bullish order block and you buy all pullbacks into the bullish order block here, 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 here. And every single time you do that, you have a successful trade. And your trade is invalidated right here when price closes below the bearish order block with conviction. This now becomes a bearish breaker because it's been broken. Now it's a breaker. This is a level of initiation for new trades to the downside, right? And this is what even I was talking about. This is a statistically likely area to short for reversal traders. Okay, and as we can see, when we actually did touch that area for the first time over here, this green box zone, we did have profitable short trades, right? Very short-term profitable short trades. But your trade is invalidated when you start closing into your bearish breaker with bullish candles. You're typically getting an early sign that your block is going to be invalidated. You get full confirmation here on this candle on the 8th, and you have a full-blown breakout trade, right? And then you can see after that breakout trade, price puts in massive expansion, running up from 6,000 to 8,000 very, very quickly, right? Because that was such a significant break of a psychological level that the capital that flew in after that was, I mean, it's a no duh. Of course that's going to happen. So, anyways. So that would be the more significant area. This level has not really been retested. And so from a supply and demand standpoint, one could make the argument that this level is statistically valid for retesting as support to really establish a bull market, right? And if we go back to what I've said for a long time, so let's actually get into how I view the markets. What I've said for a long time is that we are in a bull market because we got the 1355 exponential moving average weekly crossover, which did usher in my evaluation, the bull market, the last bull market back in 2015, when we actually closed above our weekly 55 exponential moving average. Several weeks later, we have a little bit of consolidation. Several weeks later, we get the moving average crossover. This is a moving average crossover, a golden cross in my estimation, in my opinion, in my actual trading and back testing that is statistically valid, that does work, that an individual can trade off of and have good success. And then what confirms the market, right? What confirms the market? After we get the weekly moving average crossover, we have 1, 2, 3, for 5 weeks of expansion, 1 week of consolidation in there. And then we get a pretty significant pullback back to the 13 weekly exponential moving average. In general, we hold that level as support, and then we have price expansion and continued price expansion, and then just a bull market from there. It's just all up. So, as I've said for a while, we got the weekly moving average crossover right here. We had 1 week of expansion, 1 week of consolidation, and now we are entering into a week of significant downside. As I've said for quite a while, a pullback to the weekly exponential moving average to test it as support would not surprise me. Our 13 weekly exponential moving average is sitting at 65.27, so slightly above the mid-range, I would say, of testing that liquidity void. The second area that is potentially more likely is 57.85.32, which is where our 55 weekly exponential moving average is sitting at. And that is directly at that daily bullish breaker, right? That's directly at that daily bullish breaker. So what would be a likely scenario, assuming that we continue to move to the downside? What the likely scenario is that if price does retest the 13 weekly exponential moving average, we can either see price on a closing basis on the daily retest the 55, or we can see a fairly large wick down to the 55 exponential moving average level. Ideally, that level would hold. We would consolidate, and then expansion would begin again, and we would be in a bull market, which we're already in. We're just waiting for the retest of the trending breakout and confirmation. And so now that I've said that, now that I've talked about potentialities, I want to just go back and retouch on why what that individual said earlier in the chat was really dumb, okay? As far as, for me anyways, as far as a trader goes. So I started off this entire thing with telling you what I did, the action that I took as a trader. So where am I sitting right now? I'm 1x short on Bitcoin, okay? I'm also sitting in stable coins, okay? Now, do I have some other active positions? Yes. Does it matter whether does it matter really what they do? No, because I've managed risk ahead of time, and if they hit their stop losses, well, that's risk that I was already allotted for. That's risk that I was already allotted for. Guys, when you're on the right side of the market, good things happen, okay? There have been very few trends in Bitcoin that have missed me, okay? And we've made so much money in the group over the last, well, since we've been operating as a group, but in particular, let's just talk about 2019. Since 2019 rolled its ugly head around the corner, its beautiful head around the corner, that anybody who laughs and says, "Oh, well, you mean you were long here and then you exited a trade here?" Yeah, right. Because that was the statistically likely thing to do, right? I don't predict the market. I don't counter trade the trend. Now that the trend is bearish, I'll be trading in the direction of the trend. Jesus, man. And the reason that I can sit here and talk about stuff that I, in advance, say, hey guys, what we're going to talk about now, if we're going to talk about support and resistance and potential pullback zones, has nothing to do with trading, right? And it doesn't. It has everything to do with speculation. What has to do with trading is all the work that I do every night, actively managing my positions, which I already did last night. And so I don't need to do anything right now, right? I've already done the work. I only trade at a certain time. I only change things at a certain time. There's only one thing that I'll do intraday. One thing, and that's adjust my stop loss. And I only do that if a certain parameter is met. It's all statistical, man. I don't do anything different. It's methodical, it's logical, it's statistical, and I make and that's how it works, guys. That's how it works. All right, so you guys can rewind that. So for the last half hour, I basically talked about potential potential pullback zones, but again, has really nothing to do with trading, right? That all depends on your system and your strategy. Okay, so moving on from Bitcoin, let's go down to, now we can't actually take LTF trades, or at least I won't anyways, because the daily hasn't closed. Now, if the daily closes, we're going to be getting a short signal here from Minx, right? So here's a short signal here from Minx on the daily. Should the daily close in this fashion, we'll be taking a short position and looking forward to it. We're already in a short position, but it's just not a full risk trade. It's a hedge trade, right? So our account is hedged. Cheers, brother. All right, 6 minutes until the break. And let me... Wow. I'm not going to lie. I just refreshed my 3 commas because I still have open positions. And even with that big dump, I am up. I am up 0.1 more BTC. So that's good. Nice diversification of trades. BTC ZIL actually hit my first take profit. Zilliqua was a trade that I put on last night, right on Dice. Already hit my first take profit, and I have moved my stop loss to break even, and I am going to see if it hits a take profit 3. If I were to do a little speculation, I'd say that's probably not going to happen. Most likely my stop loss will get hit. So if you are in ZIL, now is the time to take about half your position off the table and move your stop loss to break even. Loom is doing nicely. Before I refresh this screen, Metal was doing better than it is now, as well as Go and Syndicator as well, and Singularity.net. Those are all trades that I'm actively in. I would say the worst performing trade that I'm in is Zcash and Edo. And actually, to be quite honest with you, one of the best performing trades as far as non-full risk is my 1x short on BTC, my short on Bitcoin Cash, and my ADA trade is now back at break even, as is my EOS position. So nothing really, just a good day, just a good normal day, guys. Haven't lost a significant amount of capital. I'm on the right direction of the market. The trades that I have are performing okay, and it doesn't really matter if they all, break even. Okay. That's kind of the part that's for a trend follower. You have to understand that whenever you're going to switch trends, you got to pivot. Okay. You have to pivot, and you pivot at the right time, at the right tempo, at the right speed. Right. So just as we apply filters to not take losing positions, statistically losing positions, when the market is not trending very strongly, when we have what's commonly known as chop, you have to apply the same thing in how you position size across multiple trades. And this is kind of unique to cryptocurrency. This is not necessarily how you would trade Forex. This is not necessarily how you would trade equity, right? So different strategies, right? So we utilize the same technical strategy, right, for trading all markets. But the way that we do portfolio diversification, the way that we do asset allocation in cryptocurrency is going to be different than the way we do it on Forex and the way that we would do it on equity. Am I currently in XRP right now? I am. Yes, I am. So we got 3 minutes. So let's go look at Ethereum real quick. Same for Ethereum. Everything that I just said with Ethereum, or everything that I just said for Bitcoin, ditto for Ethereum, right? Close below the daily baseline, exiting all long positions at this point in time, moving out of Ethereum, moving into the short, and boom, boom, bam. And if we get a close just like this on the daily time frame, we can see that everything is firing, right? Minx is giving us a short. Mata Atara is confirming we are below the daily baseline. Things are quite good. If we were to look at potential targets at this point in time, let's actually see what Rodrigo tells us for Ethereum, which we actually didn't do for Bitcoin. But we are looking at potential targets of 219, 199, 179, with a stop loss around 269. So that would be a retrace. That would be a retrace potentially to right here, our previous consolidation area. And, might I point out, this bullish breaker right here, which has not been sufficiently tested. 180.74 to 174.91 has not been sufficiently tested. Ever. We broke out, never had a pullback to grab liquidity at this zone. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break, guys, and refill my water cup. And when I get back, we're going to look at Forex. We're also going to look at traditional equity. And we're going to take requests, guys. And we're going to continue to do this And we're going to play some tunes, guys. I got some new music this morning. All right, guys, so don't go anywhere. If this is your first time to the channel and you enjoy the content, make sure to show us some love, whether you're watching on YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and or Facebook. Make sure to give us the thumbs up, give us a follow, give us a subscription, or share us around to your friends, family, people you don't even like. This information is important, guys. I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there. We're going to turn the tunes on, and we're going to get funky with it, guys. We're gonna also, guys, listen. Just a few announcements. By the way, thank you so much, Jeffrey, for the subscription over there on YouTube. Just a little public service announcement. I did go ahead last night. We did, as a team, we added some new items to the Kraken cryptocurrency store. So we've added, big and tall items. We've added some contrast hoodies. There's even some tie-dye selections. So if you guys are interested, if you guys want to support the show, we highly appreciate that. You guys can go to krakencryptocurrency.com/merch. Check out some new stuff that we got. Get yourself something for your kid. I actually, because I have a daughter, right? I actually added all the toddler items that they have and baby items that they have for our main logo. So if you guys want to have your little chillin' rock the Kraken cryptocurrency logo, you can totally do that. Maybe that's just me. Something delights me about seeing my daughter eating her breakfast in the morning wearing a Kraken cryptocurrency t-shirt, but that's just me. But you guys can go check that out if you want to. Also, we'd really appreciate it if you guys also want to support the show at no cost to yourself. You guys could go over to Google and leave us a review on Google. We'd highly appreciate that. Google Business. And also, if you guys would leave us a review on Facebook, we highly appreciate that. Just helps get the word out, helps their algorithm see us better. So thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely amazing for all the support. And Floydie over on DLive asking if we can do ONT USDT. Of course, let's start with that, brother. Let's go to ONT USDT. Light Yagami, what's going on from 4chan? Of course I do. Stephen Hyatt says, do I have It Doesn't Matter t-shirt yet? No, I still need to get with Scott and do some other designs, right? So we still just have the CC logo and then different versions of the HODL. So me and Scott are going to have to sit down. We're working on a lot of projects right now, but that's definitely something in the making. WEA, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. Okay, let's. I'm actually gonna write that one down. That's gonna go on. That's gonna go on the board. Okay, so starting off with ONT USDT. Let's jump forward into the future. ONT USDT is not a good trade at this point in time. In fact, we are actually going to be signaling a short with confirmations. So as you can see here, we closed. As you can see, Minx has turned red, and with high momentum, we are going to be closing below the baseline, as well as Wada Atar giving us our initial signal on this candle right here, and now confirming also the short signal from Minx. So something that we can do is actually, let's spin up Quadriga and see if this is a trade that we can actually take. And I do doubt it. Yes, actually, we could. This is within our qualifying black line of being able to take a position. But obviously, you can't short ONT USDT, so this is just a do-nothing trade, sir. I'm sorry. This is, at any time, you can see the initial long signal right here from ONT USDT. We actually can't take that one, but we can take this signal right here. We can take the continuation long because continuation longs do not require volume confirmation. So we would have taken ONT USDT here, and I do believe this is actually a trade. This is a trade that we actually took, ONT USDT, and that was a good trade. But now, nothing to do. As you can see, no signal from Minx or time transformation either in this period in time. Okay, so Rockvan, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, my good friend. Sold out in the late 40s, early 50s. Well, you are the man, brother. You are the man, my good friend. ADA Bitcoin. Yes, ADA Bitcoin is a trade I am in. ADA Bitcoin is a trade I am in. As you can see here, I went long on ADA Bitcoin right here, and price is just a little bit above my entry position, still holding the daily baseline right now, and no invalidation signal yet. As we can see, Minx has not crossed into static, and we also have good volume. Wada Atar has not given us an early exit, even though we don't utilize Wada Atar as an early exit, but there are individuals who utilize Wada Atar for either a primary indicator or for an early exit indicator as well. It all depends on how you would like to apply PTP strategy to your chosen tools. But We are above the daily baseline, so there's no reason to exit this trade whatsoever. It's giving us no signals to exit Cardano BTC. Just one more tick. Oh, that's good. Dr. Angie Stones, I see now. I see now why you are a PhD, ma'am. Can I do a quick look at XRP when I get a chance? Sure. ZERP is also a position that I'm in. If we look at XRP BTC, there we go. If we look at XRP BTC, the exact same thing. Got the continuation long signal on this candle right here. Got the continuation long signal on this candle right here. So this was a trade that I actually re-entered last night. I had taken a couple different positions on ZERP prior to this. And ZERP is just kind of one of those, you know, Alex posted a great meme in the Meme Wars channel in the Discord the other day, which says basically, ready to go long on XRP. Yes, I'm definitely ready to get hurt again. So you guys know that the last time that we traded really XRP, the big trade that we put on XRP, was we actually did buy the reversal, right? We did buy XRP right down here, as you can see. We did our first purchase here. We did 50% here, or excuse me, 20% here, 30% here, and 50% at the bottom. Got fully filled on that, and we ended up selling in this area right here, okay? When we actually got the indication to exit, we had hit 2 of 3 take profit targets, and then we exited the trade fully actually here when price closed below the baseline, was when we exited the last 20% of our position. And then the next signal to go long on Minx that we took was this continuation long right here. So price doing well, in a little bit of profit right now and moving to the upside. Honestly, not doing much, but we have no early exit signal. Minx is not coming back into the noise line. And honestly, this looks good. So this is a trade that I hold. Addicts. Let's check out Addicts. Addicts is no bueno, man. Addicts is no bueno. Addicts was an exit on yesterday's candle close. Let's see here. We would have gotten an initial long signal on this candle. And let's take a look here. That's definitely a winner. I just want to establish how much because we caught that wick. Yeah, so we would have entered long on this candle right here. We would have hit our first take profit on this candle here. And we would have been out at break even either here when price did retreat, but it looks like we actually are a little bit above our break even, but definitely on this candle, we exit at break even on this candle. We potentially get another signal to go long here, but because we have closed below the baseline, we don't take the continuation. And so really the only trade that we would have taken on an Addicts was this one, which would have been a nice winner. And there's no trade to take to the long side on Addicts right now whatsoever. No, price is below the baseline. Minx is below the 0 line and continuing on to the downside. So until we get some nice bullish volume and action here, there's nothing to do. If we actually look at regular volume, you can see how volume is just extremely low and unattractive to trade right now. We need volume for trends, guys. Do I expect Bitcoin to continue dropping? I have learned a long time ago to not try to expect what price is going to do. Price is telling us what it's doing, and you want to trade in the direction that price is telling us to do. I spent the first, or wait a tick. That's good. That's a good one, bro. I spent the first hour of the show talking about Bitcoin. If you know so much, then where on earth is Nemo? And just who exactly is this John Galt fellow, man? Just who is John Galt, man? Who is that guy? And seller. Da Vinci's been trading Harmony quite a bit. If you guys are in the premium group, Da Vinci, one of our analysts, he's been trading this thing backwards, forwards, left and right, up, down, sideways. I think he was even trading on the inverted chart at one point in time and making profits. So shout out to you, good sir. But yeah, Harmony is, there's really nothing to do with this. So what we have to do with a chart like Harmony is we have to start going down until we find the maximum time frame at which we have all of our indicators. So here on the hourly, which is generally what I'd suggest for something this recent, we've actually gotten 1 and 2 bad signals. Actually, you know what? This one was actually probably worked out being okay. Yeah, let's see. That one's debatable. We might have the stop loss get hit on that candle. We might have the stop loss get hit on that candle. However, what we don't do, so we have 2 losing trades. And then if we just continue to follow the strategy, though, we do get a continuation long here, which is a beautiful trade, right? And we get told to take profit on this candle. We get another continuation long here, another one here. No reason to exit yet, so we've got multiple entries here. Another continuation long here. And then, you know, any entering that we would have done in this zone pays off nicely here. And then another continuation long here on the hourly. Things doing quite nicely, as well as reversal trades off the baseline. So nothing to do right now. In fact, we did just get a signal 2 hours ago to go long, and you'd be up about 1% so far right now. Let's see if we can get... Yeah, now the 3 hour called this like a champ. Here, 3 hour tells you to go long, no reason to exit your position, and had you entered on that 3 hour candle, you'd be up about 20% so far. The 4 hour actually doesn't give you a signal to go long. There's just not enough data there from Minx. So about 3 hours, the only thing we can do. 3 hour and down is how you can trade Harmony right now. Seller BTC. Same. You know what? This might be... This is going to be a bottom off zero trade. But we do need the crossover, right? So the last signal to go long on seller was right here. I think that one was actually a loss. The continuation was good. Actually, no. We didn't actually get our stop loss hit on seller, nor did we close below the baseline. But that one wasn't pleasant for quite a while. And then we held on, and then on this candle, we take our profits. We get a continuation long on this candle. We also get a continuation long on this candle. That one ended up playing out quite nicely. But really, the better one was here because we ended up doing quite well on that trade. And then out here, when price closes below the baseline. And although price is closing above the baseline here, we don't have momentum, nor do we have volume, and we also don't have confirmation. So there's nothing to do with seller, man. That's on the hourly. Sorry, let's go to the daily. Sorry, let me rephrase all that. So on the daily, initial long signal here. Let's see if it's been a winner so far. This is a trade that you're still in. Yeah, seller is still a trade that you're in on the daily. You would have gone long on this candle right here. And you're still in this trade. Haven't really broken out above our qualifying line yet, which is really kind of generally when we start getting good returns on our trades. But, you know, momentum is okay. Haven't gotten an early exit signal yet. Let's wait and see how the daily closes. Yeah, this looks okay. Take it easy, Jurgen. Tarmac, would everything I said for Bitcoin most likely be the same for Litecoin? I mean, the structure, the statistics with which I'm going to evaluate a chart are going to be absolutely the same. You want to look at each individual chart individually, though. QLC. QLC, and then we're going to take a look at Forex. QLC is actually really close to signaling along. We're going to get a long signal potentially on the close of today's candle on QLC. So this is likely something that I will be looking at when I do my daily scan this evening. QLC. Silver giveaways. Thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube, man. All right, so let's go check out some Forex markets for a while. Look at the euro dollar. Yeah, euro dollar did signal along on yesterday's candle. Generally not a trade that we're going to take because it's above our qualifying line, but had you taken it, you'd be up about 19.3 ticks right now. Let's go look at the dollar yen. Again, the dollar yen did signal a short on this candle. Again, typically not something that we would take, but had you taken it, currently be up about 25 ticks. I meant pips, not ticks. You currently be up about 22.6 pips. Pound dollar. I think the pound dollar is going to be signaling along here really soon. Yeah, the pound dollar is closing above the is breaking above the baseline. Minx is getting close. It might take another day or two. Aussie dollar did signal along on this candle, as we said a couple days ago. Currently up about 70 pips. Dollar CAD is going to be signaling a short on today's candle, but it's a little bit too much momentum. Wada Atara called this beautifully, though. Wada Atara called the short right here. And had you taken that, you'd be up about 55 pips. Dollar Swissy called a continuation short on this candle right here. Beautiful continuation short. Nothing to do right now. Euro Yen is telling you to go ahead and take profit on your short. Euro Pound gave you a continuation long here. Just as it gave you the primary long right here. So I'd probably be looking to hold that trade, hold that long open. There's no reason to close it. Kiwi Dollar. Kiwi Dollar did call along yesterday. Moving to the upside. CAD Dollar. Moved a little bit too much momentum. Wada Atara called CAD Dollar beautifully. Here's the long call right here on the CAD Dollar yesterday. Moving to the upside. Dollar Aussie obviously signaling a short on this candle right here. 2 days ago, as we said. Continuing to move down. Dollar Euro was called very well by Wada Atara right here. Continuing to move down. Dollar Yuan. You got a long signal right here. You're still in it, but you're in a little bit of drawdown right now, so nothing to do. No signal now. Pound Canadian, you're actually going to be getting a continuation short on this current candle. Let's look at gold. Again, gold signaled a long signal here. Wada Atara signaled the long here. And just on a massive run up with gold, man. Gold to the dollar up 3% just in the last couple of days. Let's look at palladium. Palladium, we did get a long signal here on Wada. Called it very nice on Wada. Minx actually gave us the long on this candle. Either way, there's a good palladium trade. Nothing to do right now. Not signaling a short. And consolidating around the baseline, which is exactly what our filters are designed to keep us out of. Let's look at ZAG. What's going on with silver? Again, Wada called along on silver here. Minx called along on silver here, which we wouldn't have been able to take. So Wada really crushing it, man. Wada as a primary is just absolutely murdering it right now. Rhodium. Commodity. Called along here. That was a good long. And Wada is calling along on this current candle right now. Just as it called along on this candle here. Nothing to do on rhodium right now. Traditional markets. S&P 500 having a nice bounce back at the exact same time that Bitcoin is dumping. Nothing massively surprising about that. Stanley Suber, thank you so much for the subscription over there on YouTube. And all this is telling us is that from our short here, we took a short here. It's telling us to go ahead and take profit if we still have a trade open. Looking at the NASDAQ, same thing, getting told to take profit on our short, not to enter into any long. Price is still bearish. And similarly, on this continuation short we would have taken on the Dow right here, price is just telling us to go ahead and take profit on our short. Going to the total crypto market cap. Total crypto market cap here, signaling the short on this candle. Yesterday's close. Altcoin market cap moving down as well. Longs to shorts ratio continues to fall. Longs are dropping off. Let's look what longs are doing. What are longs doing in and of themselves? Longs are falling off the face of the map. What are shorts doing? Shorts are consolidating, not moving up much higher, but strongly holding the daily baseline. Again, you got a long signal on shorts here. Moving over at Ethereum sentiment. Ethereum long shorts ratios continuing to drop. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that. CME futures dropping, looking like we're going to close below the daily baseline. GBTC as well. Pull back to the daily baseline, close, and then gap down. Bitcoin volatility, quite high. When Bitcoin volatility is above the baseline. Good trades. Bitcoin dominance. Really isn't making that much of a move, guys. Bitcoin dominance is not making that much of a move, meaning a lot of people are not getting rid of their Bitcoin. Let's look at Tether dominance. Tether dominance is on the rise. Tether dominance is looking strong. In fact, getting a long signal to go long on Tether at this point in time right now. All right, getting back to requests, guys. I saw a request for Litecoin. Litecoin gave us a long on this candle right here, which was a decent trade, and consolidation right now, my good friend. Now, you could have taken multiple reversal base trades right here. You could have taken multiple reversal base trades. But we don't have a long signaling yet. We don't have a long signaling yet. In fact, Minx is still pointing down. Wada Atar called your initial long right here. Doing well. I sure did Anomaly 123. Do I think an alt season is likely to come very soon? Guys, we've been in an alt season, man. Right on dice. Do I count pips the same way as I do Satoshis? No. A pip is the fourth decimal point to the right of the period, of the decimal. So it'd be half of the value of twice the value of one Satoshi, mathematically. Exposed says, if you often stare blankly into space while breathing through your mouth and drive a quarter cab truck, you might be an XR peanut, people. Any chance? I've already checked Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, one of my favorite. We traded Ethereum Classic and banger trade, man. We went long on Ethereum Classic right here. And as I said, let's go take a look at how we performed. Ethereum Classic hitting all three of our take profits. We took full profit right here at around not 1102, I believe, if I am correct. I know that the value is right. I just want to make sure I get the sell right. So for an average sell price is somewhere around here. And got out just in time. Took our profits just at the right moment, and things are going quite well right now. ETC, nothing to do. Definitely want to be locking in your profits from your trade to the upside right here. This was a good trend. You don't want to miss out on this money. If you are, we're going to be getting an exit signal, an early exit signal from Minx as well on this candle. So exit indicator is going to be firing at the close of the day's candle. Good opportunity to get out. Taurus, BNB. Let's check her out. Go look at CZ Coin. Nothing to do here on BNB right now, mate. Got the last long. I think the last trade that we took on BNB was right here. And we got the long signal from Minx. Took the trade up. I think we hit all three of take profits on that one. No, we only hit two. 2 of 3 take profits. And actually got a continuation short on yesterday's candle that's going to be invalidated now. Of course, we can't short BNB, and we wouldn't have taken this anyways. There's no volume confirmation. So yeah, market, the system is telling you to stay out of BNB at this current point in time. And that's good because you had one good trend. And if you could have shorted BNB here, and then another good trend. So only 3 good trades since the 6th of March. The rest of it's been absolute nonsense. This is chop. Except for this, we catch this nice trend, and we catch this nice trend. You're welcome, See the Karma. Thank you. Do I plan to mine Ethereum by staking when it is available this year? No, I don't do that, man. I'm just a trader. Trevin Swick. And actually, I'm not a big fan of Ethereum, to be quite honest with you. I was trained that there is one cryptocurrency, and that's Bitcoin. So although I am a trader of everything, what's the name of the indicator that gives you the green candles? That is Minx. That is Minx, Styler. It actually gives you much more than just green candles, but to see that, I'm going to have to take Wada Atar off. All right? It actually gives you much more. It tells you Minx is a full-fledged bodied indicator. It tells you when to short, when to go long, when to take profit, everything. It is an indicator that is fully designed with PTP, which is my trading strategy. Styler133, thank you so much for the follow. Also over there on Twitch, my good friend. Why am I not a fan of Ethereum? How much time do you got? It's very simple, man. Centralized authority. That's it. Centralized authority. That is it. It's a cool project. It could probably do cool things. I support it in the realm of open source software and innovation. You guys can do whatever you like. But as far as, I really like it. I think it's going to change the world. No, I really don't, man. I think that Bitcoin's going to change the world. Bitcoin is decentralized currency. Bitcoin is economic freedom. Bitcoin is revolutionary in the same way that the internet was revolutionary. Ethereum is just neat, man. And I have no idea whether it's going to scale, whether it's going to work. And I also don't like the fact that the Ethereum Foundation can do what the heck they want with Ethereum, i.e. Ethereum Classic. And that makes me very uncomfortable. Oh, no, well, yeah, Matt. Zerp's a goddamn train wreck. Walt to D2, let's check out Nugget, man. On Arca. I assume you're trading on Arca. Of course, guys. Yeah, of course it's the number 2 coin. Do I really believe in decentralization? Banks and authorities will always be there? Actually, I do, yeah. I do have vision that spans out a couple hundred years, a couple thousand years. Yep. I've thought about, what is the most pressing thing for human beings to do right now as a species? Is to get rid of centralized authority so that we can get the heck off this piece of rock that is floating around in space around a spinning ball of flame. Our entire species, our entire genetic history and future is on one rock. That is easy, the problem with humans is that we're easy to kill. We're frail, we're fragile, we're weak. We have to spread out. We do have to colonize the stars to increase our genetic chance of survival. We got to quit squibbling, quit squabbling, and get off this dang rock, man. It's okay if, we stay here, but we got to get out, man. We're there. We're close with technology. If we focused on it, we'd do so much more, man. Styler, Minx, Time Transformation, Quadrigo ATR. Those are all available to premium subscribers. If you'd like more information on that, if you guys would like if you would like mentoring, access to our Pathways to Profit course, our private community, links at the top of the screen and in the description down below. Or you can go to indicators.crackingcryptocurrency.com to go to our trading view. We do have free and public indicators such as CC EMA, CC Ichimoku, and Wada Atar Explosion. Are you really countering an argument of what my vision for the future is compared to what I'm doing right now? That's logical fallacy, brother. Jeremy Smith, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. I am thinking logically. There's nothing wrong with having vision for the future, brother, and then conducting yourself in a way that allows you to provide for your family and have a good life today, right? It's the little things that we all do. It does. Look, man, it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin China owns. Again, that's a logical fallacy. Bitcoin, listen, and it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's just the best. The nice thing about Bitcoin is that you require consensus. So if there is malicious action, you can fork, man. That's the point. Okay? And the nice thing about it too, right, is that So who cares? Just like it doesn't matter how much Bitcoin China owns, right? Because if China has a lot of Bitcoin, then guess what they want? They want the network to operate efficiently. Because if they did massive manipulation, then lots of people would not want to participate in Bitcoin, which would hurt their investment. Okay, this is why I'm a free market capitalist. Because I think that if you get people who actually affect the world power, right, and not power in the form of government power, so coercive power is evil. But in the form of influence, right, because they're actively invested, corporations and businesses are not bad things. Most business owners are risk takers, have vision, and generally make the world a better place. Keith, Frazine, we're already in a ZERP long, friend. Calm down, man. Can I talk about Bitcoin satisfying a 23.6 Fibonacci retracement from 2019 low to high with today's low? No, I can't, man, because I don't do any of that stuff. Right. Like, yeah, you listen to your statement. You say whoever owns the most Bitcoin controls it. If they dump it, you are done. Listen, if you had a huge holding of something, okay, what are the odds that you're gonna dump it, right? For spite? To screw over the other person? You just screwed yourself. S. Bruning. That's pretty common of traders wherever you go, man. Thank you, brother. Or sister. I want to make a... Wife says do that more often. See the karma 2 hours every day. I'm a trader, man. That is my profession. Thank you, Julian. Yeah, I would check out all our Trading Crypto 101 videos, and then just develop a rapport with your peers in the Discord. Gender neutral pronouns, please. Sorry, I was looking at Nugget, guys. I just like the conversations we have in here, man. So Wada Atar actually called along on Nugget on this candle right here. And great trade, by the way, mate. But Minx called along on this candle, which still was a great trade. Able to catch the gap. So Wada doing really good. I mean, the examples that I've looked at today, Wada's crushing it lately. That's not always the case, right? It's not always the case. There are certain times. And so that's why I continue to use Minx, because I know that over time it's going to give me the best statistical odds. So Nugget, let's take a gander here. Woo. Excuse me. All right, so Nugget on this trade right here. From the WADA trade, you would have taken everything there. From the Minx trade, 1, 2, 3, you got a third take profit somewhere here, right around. Let's find where we actually intersect. Around 1979. Around 1979. Currently at 1930. So this is definitely when I would set a trailing stop. This is where I would absolutely set a trailing stop, either from my entry or from take profit 1 is how I would manage that position. No, I appreciate the questions, man. Don't think that I'm mad at you, bro. You bring up some very good points. But yeah, I've thought of them. I've thought of them all. I really like good, honest conversation here. Thank you for being in here, Crypto Money On. Okay, so again, but I believe I believe you asked like where was a good short spot. So I don't counter trend trade. Yeah, Walt. You got to take profit in 1974. You're bang on, man. You're bang on. Good trade, man. Good trade on Nugget. I don't counter trend trade, so unless we're below the baseline, I don't short. So as long as we're above the baseline, I'm looking for any and all opportunities to re-long. So locking in that profit and just look for the next market to go long on. 21.98 with a trailing stop. Nice, dude. Yeah, that makes sense. Liquidity grab, basically. A little higher than that, huh? Okay. Okay. That makes sense, because this one would be. I would use this. Yeah. I was looking at order blocks. Thoughts on where we are heading? No, not really. I mean, I'm in a short, man. Not in a full position short, but I'm in stable coins. I'm 1x short on BTC, as I always am when we close below the baseline. And now, if the daily candle closes today like it is, it'll be a full position, full risk short. Same for Ethereum. And I spent the first hour of the show talking about support and resistance. But again, support and resistance doesn't really affect how I trade because I'm a momentum trader. So let's go to AGI BTC on the 4-hour chart, okay? Okay. Long signal right here. Yeah, well, if you're on the right side of the market and you're a trend following trader and you've got good strategy, I mean, listen, I don't make any guarantees. The failure rate is still high, but you want to focus on maximizing those trades and don't get caught up with over trading. Actually, S. Bruning, I spent like an hour watching that. I spent like an hour talking about that 2 episodes ago. It's actually entitled Bitcoin Boom Caused by Chinese Currency Manipulation. So I would go check that video out. It's really good. I don't want to really rehash a lot of what I went in there, but I basically look at the charts. I look at the charts of the United States dollar against the Chinese yuan. I talk about some of the history of the trade war, kind of what the sentiment is. Zill like as it's going to blow. I'm in a Zill trade. I've already hit my first take profit. My stop loss is at break even. Yeah, do I have a link? Find it. It's this one. Right there, guys. So, yeah, 4-hour long signal right here. Let's see if we would have been able to take it. Yeah, we would have been able to take it. In a little bit of drawdown right now, and either waiting for an early exit or get some profit. Looks like we got to go up here to 637. Again, I'm in on this on the daily. Entry right here. And just chilling along right now. Patty G says wrecked. This is a no wrecked zone, sir. Do our daily bubble look. Hedgehog coin up 96.9%. Oh, it's hedge trade. Sorry. Hedgehog coin. Wait a second. Yeah, that's right. Beat BSV up. Go, go, go. Sorry, guys. Look at the last hour. We're getting this little pump in the last hour. Yeah, Hedgehog up just that much in the last hour. Let's see. Not any big winners, really. Not a lot of good volatility to the upside right now today. Loom, I'm in. That's doing okay. Short on EOS, so thank you. Go down more, please. Long on Komodo, so that one's doing pretty well. Just kind of hanging up there in profit, so. Ton of longs just got liquidated, man. Kids just don't learn, man. Don't buy the dip, man. Buy the trend. What's going on, Bob? Good to see you, brother. Hopefully you're doing well, man. That is cryptobubbles.net. Yeah, cryptobubbles.net. Shout out to Crypto Bubbles. They are great. Yeah, you're 100%, man. Bitcoin's got the wheel, baby. I mean, people think, listen, the reality is that the common knowledge in cryptocurrency is that if Bitcoin is sideways, all coins can pump, which does happen. But when Bitcoin is bullish, there is a much higher probability for altcoins to be bullish as well. So ideally, you're looking for Bitcoin to be a bullish, strongly bullish. Crypto Kitty, I'm glad to guide you out of there as well. You know what? And that is a good idea for a t-shirt. They never learn longs and shorts and then maybe wrecked or something like that. That's a good idea. I'm going to put that down for designs as well. Matt says Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin by next year. Oh, did you flip the machines on, brother? What is a good level to buy BTC? Ugh. Listen, BTC is bearish right now, so I'm not going to be doing any buying of BTC. When BTC is bullish, I'll buy it. We did talk about important levels, though, in the first hour of the show. Potentially 72.61, 73.48. Below that, 61.53 to 58.18 on the daily. However, the most important levels to me are coming in on the weekly. And those levels are going to be our moving averages on the weekly. And that's going to be 65.32 and 57.86. What, like this? Nailed it. Correct, Bob. No, actually. Oh, sorry. I had to reread that. No, you don't exit your short until you actually get a buy signal on BTC. Because remember, our main goal is preserving our capital, the USD value of our capital. Sounds a little bit like yield porno music. I feel like this sounds even more like porno music. Or account balance in USD at like 650 on the front of the shirt and 13 BTC on the back. That's pretty cool too, dude. I like that. 13. I keep seeing this tally over here on DLive. Okay, guys. A little bottom buying going on right now. We'll see what the daily candle close brings us. The way that I look at it right now, I'm probably going to be putting on a position on Bitcoin. I'm probably going to be putting a position on Ethereum. Hoping that price retraces a little bit. Kind of depends on... Bought in at 3.5K. Did I sell? I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I did. Have a big old sensor charts liquidation wick, and then what, have it say wrecked. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Nav? Nav does not look good, man. You got a long signal right here. that didn't actually hit our first take profit, and you would have exited the trade here. So that would have been a loss. About a 5% loss on that trade. And price is below the daily baseline. No signal on anything right here except for Wada Atar, but unable to take below the daily baseline. The 4-hour Midwest. You have to use the 4-hour. Oh, Kreutzer. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, always use the Quadrigo in the time frame you took it. Well, Philip, it's going to be very unlikely that the daily close will signal along. It'll be very unlikely that the daily close signals anything than a short. I don't do predictions, Dwarf Ninja. That's for CNBC, and they're always wrong. First last. There's a Bitcoin program on cable right now, a very bullish program. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I am a trend-following trader, brother. You don't need to predict the market. You don't need to have any ideas for what's going to happen in the future to make money. That's the biggest misconception out there. Tom Wienick, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Take a look at the total crypto market cap right here. Not total, but the crypto market cap. I just want to see our biggest losers of the day. MCO, Tezos, Cosmos, Mixin, BitTorrent Token, Holochain, Bitcoin, Cardano. Oh, Cardano, you were up so high too. Now you're back at my break even. Let's see here. Besides Hedge Trade, Zilliqua doing quite nice. SV, Aurora. Light Rainy, nailed it, Light Rainy. I mean, listen, I don't think you could possibly be wrong. Basic tips, Dwarf. I mean, how much time you got, brother? Basic tips, sure, man. Don't trade against the direction of the dominant trend. Have indicators on your chart that are able to determine trend for you, able to determine entry and exit. Make sure that you have a very strategic, systematic position sizing method of how you allocate your risk per trade. Make sure that you value your wealth, value your equity curve over the performance of your system over the course of 6 months to a year, not over a week to a day. Never chase a trade. Don't counter trend trade. Don't try to catch wicks. Just forget all about that. Anything you've ever heard about stop loss hunts or liquidity zones, it's nonsense to a trend trader. And keep tuning in, man. I do this for 2 hours a day. If you watch me, it's almost impossible not to learn something. I got 7 Ethereum left. Good time to sell. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys. I don't hold Ethereum, but the Ethereum that I have on ByBit is 1x short. The EOS that I have is in an active short. The Bitcoin that I have is in a 1x short. Tim DeFreak 333, thank you so much for the sub over there as well, brother. What trend predicting tools would recommend without crowding my graph? Well, I mean, ones that are going to be useful, man. You guys can go to indicators.crackingcryptocurrency.com for some indicators that I use. You can see what I use on in my show every day. I use 2 proprietary indicators, and I use 2 indicators that you guys can use for free on TradingView. Appreciate that, Matt. Thank you, brother. This thing is such a good leading indicator. Yeah. Sebastian, if you're watching, man. So is this. All right, guys. With that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. I've been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys go on to have an exciting day, a very safe day. Make sure that you are trading smartly. Don't do anything risky. Don't do anything that you shouldn't do. Make sure, above all, that you trade safely. Listen, guys, if you head over to Google Business or Facebook, give us a review. We highly appreciate that. I believe Scott has posted the links in the chat. I'm sure he'll be posting them again here any moment. If you guys like the video, if you guys enjoyed the content, if you guys want to support the community, you can, of course, for free, leave us a thumbs up, follow us, give us a subscription, or share us around to your friends, family, even people you don't like. I think this information is important, and I think that people need to see it. Whether you're watching across YouTube, BeLive, Twitch, and or Facebook, we appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being a member of our community. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. I will try to respond to any valid questions within 48 hours. And until next time, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow, noon to 2 Central Daylight Time, as we always are here. Take it easy, guys, and trade safely.
Bye.